Namaste, everyone. Welcome to this sitting and breathing session again. Nice to see all of you. Today's, like I just mentioned, we are going to learn to practice meditating with thoughts. How many of you find that sometimes you have so much of thoughts and you don't feel like doing meditation? You find that it's so difficult to meditate. Have you all had this experience? Yes? No? Yes, right? I think most of us always think that it's good to have during meditation, our ideal is to try to stop all the thoughts. If let's say we were to rate a meditation, sometimes we even rate the meditation based on the thoughts that we have or how peaceful is our mind, right? We always thought that, oh, when my mind is very peaceful during the meditation, that is a good meditation. When I have a lot of thoughts, then that is not a good meditation. That is a lousy meditation. How many of you can relate to that? It's common, right? Because we always have this idea that good meditation shouldn't have thoughts, which is impossible, I would say, right? So today's practice is to share with you or let you see that actually a good meditation doesn't mean that there's no thought. Because to stop thought is something, is a very, very challenging task. And it's our mind's job to continuously produce thought, okay, to keep our mind busy. So that's why we always call this mind a monkey mind, right? So our job today is to recognize when thoughts arise. Because in awareness meditation, we are not trying to avoid any experience. We are not going to judge whether this experience is good experience or bad experience, or this thought is a good thought or bad thought, or we shouldn't have thought or we should have thought. We are not going to do any of this. We simply aware and allow whatever experience that arise to arise and let them stay for a while and let them disappear at their own accord. We do not interfere, in other words. We do not engage with them. And we, of course, we don't follow them. If we start to follow them, then we are lost in our meditation because we lost connection with our awareness itself. Okay, so first of all, like what I said, it's difficult to stop all the thoughts because it's our mind's job, right? But in order to in order not to be distracted or not to be controlled by our thoughts altogether, we have to know how to make friends with our thoughts, how to make friends with our mind, because it's the mind that keep producing the thought, correct? So today, what we are going to do is we are going to practice giving our mind a job when the thoughts arise. And what sort of job do we give to our mind is to watch our thoughts, to see how many thoughts that we have and what sort of thoughts that we have. So instead of like trying to stop the thought when it arises or follow the thought when it arises, we simply watch. It's like you're watching a movie in the screen. So when you start to watch the thought and you observe and see what happens, sometimes the thought disappears. Sometimes the thought breaks into pieces. Sometimes the thought will continue to stay and it just stay and then eventually it disappear by itself. So thoughts has no power if you don't follow them. It's only when you start to follow them, you start to believe them, then you actually give them power. So in awareness meditation, we actually can use thought as our support for meditation. Whenever thoughts arise, we recognize it and we quickly bring our awareness, our attention back to the awareness itself and simply be with the thought and see what happens to the thought. Okay, so this is what we're going to practice in today's session. So now I invite you to sit in a comfortable position. Adjust your body posture if you must. Perhaps it's easier if you close your eyes for this meditation. But if you are comfortable leaving your eyes open, you can do that too. And allow me to invite three sounds of the bell. And allow the sound of the bell to bring your mind back to the body. Begin by feeling the weight of the body sitting on the cushion. And take a moment to feel the posture. Sitting in an upright position, yet relaxed. Your back shouldn't be too rigid. Allow your shoulder to drop naturally. Your head resting on the neck comfortably. Your two arms resting on each other, your palm right on top of the left one, thumb touching together. And take a moment to feel the sensations of the whole body. A very gentle body scan. Begin by the top of your head, your eyebrows, your face, your shoulder, aware of all the sensations as you scan down in your mind's eye. The sensations of your tummy, your two arms, your legs, your toes, any discomfort, tightness. And see if we can allow the whole body to relax. But if you find it difficult to relax, it is okay too. It is okay if you're aware that you can't relax. In awareness, everything is okay. All we need to do is aware of what is going on right now. So continue to be aware of your bodily sensation for the next few moments, not forcing yourself to relax. Just aware and let it be as it is. Okay, now just rest your mind in open awareness for a few moments. Resting in open awareness simply means not focusing on any particular thing, not even your bodily sensation, just an open, spacious awareness, allowing whatever sounds, experiences, sensations, thoughts to come without blocking them or following them. As it says, open awareness. Just rest it there for a while. Just relax your mind, yet remain aware and alert. And now, let us turn our attention very gently towards our mind. Try to look at your mind. What am I thinking? Is my mind peaceful, quiet, empty at this moment? Or is my mind busy, running here and there, full of thoughts? Just take a moment to be aware of the state of your mind at this moment. If your mind is quiet and peaceful, it's good. Let it be as it is. But if your mind is full of thoughts, you feel stressful, confused, it's good too. aware of that and let it be as it is. Remember, we are not trying to change or improve our mind. We're simply aware and know what is going on and be with it. So take a few moments to be aware of the state of your mind and be with it, whatever it is. So you may notice whether your mind is quiet, still, or moving around. The awareness is always there at the background. You're like an observer observing your mind. And this awareness is always peaceful, non-judgmental. It is gentle and allow whatever state of mind that arises to be there as it is. See if we could connect with that awareness that knows the state of your mind. Okay, now if there are thoughts right now, which I think most of us have, just be curious about the thoughts. What are your thoughts look like? Does your thought has any images or a lot of words or any sounds of your thoughts? Or you may be thinking about the food that you have just eaten or the plans for tomorrow. So what appears in that mind? Images or words? And take a step back and observe these thoughts. Remember, our job is not to evaluate our thoughts, it's good thoughts or bad thoughts. Instead, we just learn to see thoughts as a cloud passing. Regardless of whether your clouds are white color, gray color, fluffy, stormy, they're just clouds and they won't stay for long. So whatever your thoughts are like, just look at them. Be aware of the thoughts instead of following the story. So just be a watcher and see what happens to those thoughts. And do the thought disappear? Or they keep changing from one to another? Or they break into pieces when you try to look at them? The images break into small pieces and disappear. And dissolve into awareness. If you get distracted by the thought, when you notice this happen, just simply come back in awareness. Okay, now just drop all the mental doing and just rest in open awareness for a few moments. Let your mind rest for a while in this present moment without any particular focus. And next, let us practice by bringing our attention to some specific thoughts. And now let's do something that you're all very good at, which is let your mind wanders. Now you're free to think of all the thoughts that you want. Any specific ones, if possible, that just happened today. Just bring up some thoughts with you. Perhaps let's start with something, a happy thoughts, something that brings smile to your mouth. Maybe a good time with family, a good meal, or somebody praised you this morning that make you happy. Try to bring up some happy thoughts today or yesterday and see if you could see the images or the words of those thoughts in your mind. And while thinking about these thoughts, now just suspend the thought and look at your thought directly. Just observe without following the thoughts. Like you're watching a movie. Allow those images to play on the screen of your mind, but without following them or distracted. You're simply aware and watching those thoughts that come and go. Do you also notice the change in your emotions? When you had a happy thought, you feel good. But when you step back as an awareness, the emotions may change too. You become more calm because you're simply an observer, watching the thoughts. As if you're watching the river passing and you are just standing at the bank of the river. Continue to be this peaceful, non-judgmental awareness, watching these happy thoughts that you had. And now, drop all the thoughts and rest in open awareness for a few moments. Let your mind relax for a while. And now we do one more time. And this time, you bring to mind a more challenging situation that happened recently. Probably something happened that upset you. And see if you could see the images or the words forming in the thoughts. And the emotions that arise when you think of this thought. Something unpleasant that you try to avoid thinking about it, but now just for the practice, just gently invite that thought to come to your mind and feel the emotions. It could be sadness, anger, frustrations. Let it be there. And now, just look straight into the thoughts. Just observe without following or getting lost in them. And see what happens. When you look at the thought, sometimes the thought disappeared. Sometimes it breaks into pieces. Sometimes it continues. But you are just being with the thought, aware of the thought, without getting involved. You are watching the river flows, without jumping into the river. And see what happens. And perhaps you feel that you're again back to this calm, peaceful awareness, not affected by the thought at all, although the thought is still there. Okay, now slowly let go of the thought and just rest your mind in the open awareness. So in this practice, basically, it's help us to recognize that it doesn't matter if your thoughts are positive, negative, or neutral. Thoughts are just thoughts. They are just neutral experiences and natural experiences. If we don't follow them, if we don't get distracted by them, and we remain as awareness, as watcher, it doesn't have any power to disturb us. So in the future, whether you are in a formal meditations or in your day-to-day life, whenever thoughts arise, we can always take a step back and come back to our awareness. Just observe and look straight into the thought without getting lost in them. And through practice like this, eventually you will get control over the mind without letting the thoughts control you. So if your eyes have been closed, gently allow them to open and rest in open awareness. And before we end our session, let's dedicate all the merits or goodness that arise from this practice to be of benefit to ourselves and all others around the world. Thank you.